Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here, and welcome to another episode of Glory Hunter. Firstly, I believe this is episode number 50, so thank you guys very much for the support. Over 50 episodes of Glory Hunter. I do know that, the updates of the YouTube videos have been sporadic, and then there's been double uploads, but you guys have shown support no matter what, so thank you very much for that. Secondly, here in today's episode, we have had the draw for the Champions League. We're definitely going to recap that in a second, and then we're going to have our first game in the Champions League of importance in the league phase, and really test ourselves against an opposition that we have played before, whilst being in charge of AC Milan. With that being said, we're going to move ourselves to Milan because, well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there has been some big movement in deadline day. David Fratesi has decided that he wants to leave Real Madrid for 54 mil. I just cheekily asked, okay, what kind of contract do you want? He wants to be a squad player. Yeah, you're coming in. For a squad player who's world class and who's playing for us, that's perfectly fine. Because what I'm going to do is, Tonali's actually injured for the next 3 to 4 weeks. We won our last league game as well. We'll recap that quickly. Since we last checked, we played Sampdoria away from home and won 6-1. Yeah, we looked pretty good. Mose Kean, again, off the bench, goal, fantastic. But yeah, look, we looked fantastic. The back four played very well. We only conceded 1 goal. But yeah, look, we're a good side, especially domestically. But this signing here is just A, Tonali injured, out he comes. B, bigger games, buddy, 2 box-to-box midfielders in the bigger games away from home. Straight away, David Fratesi and Tonali used to play together, is what I'm thinking. Or we get rid of Benacore and leave Dani Olmo and put Tonali back on line. We could do that too. Because David is fantastic. He's already accepted my offer. He's highlighted us as the club that he wants us to go to, which is fantastic. So we're just going to stay live here until we see if it comes through. We've got a little bit of that. We've still got time on deadline day. I don't like doing business. It's going to lag a bit. I don't like doing business on deadline day, personally. I like getting my business done beforehand. But the fact we got money, David Fratesi, Italian, international, world class at 26. The squad we've built is fantastic. I'm telling you guys right now, I am willing. Real Madrid have just got money and given me money for Dani Olmo. Interesting. 19 mil is not enough, and he has no interest. I'm telling you guys right now, I am willing. That's a great signing. Ask him to do that. That's fine there too. I'm willing, if we don't win the Champions League this year, to stay even 1 more year after that to go, this team is just too good. It's a matter of time. But there is David, in he comes. Dani Olmo we're going to reject, that is for sure. Unless they, for me to get Dani Olmo, sign him for 43 mil, I'm probably going to need about 60 to 70, and I'll turn around and go, that's profit, and we've got David Fratesi in, so that's fine. But this squad is now just a joke. You get Fratesi into here. He'd be the backup there for Iramoto, who, to be fair, is fantastic as well at 18. But yeah, you're looking at that, like, those backup players, and you're like, David Fratesi is on the bench. You got Tisney, who's going to be about to play for France. You've got Esposito, who's playing for Italy now. We've got Esposito into the Italian squad. You've got Calabria and Makalenko either side. You've got John Stone sitting on the bench, for goodness sake. You got Mose Kean, who's already got 2 goals and 3 assists in 2 games on the bench. We're good. We are very, very, very good. Like, if you go to our season preview, I would imagine that signing of David Fratesi puts him into this team here. Like, the game really thinks that we should be playing Fratesi, Bruno, Tonali, and Tisney. Which, to be fair, is probably correct, because Tisney will become better, as good as these midfielders probably in 1 year of clean gameplay. But at the same stage, I've got really a good squad like this, and I'm really happy with Ismail Benacore because he's just very good at what he does in the base. But yeah, with that being said, without further ado, Champions League. We can stop, gas bagging all that up. I'll go to the Champions League fixtures. There we go, lads. We've got Red Star, should be beating him. Ajax, should be beating him. And then the game I'm giving you. That is correct. There's 4 big games in a row. It's Barcelona in the replay of the semi-final of last year. We got them away from home. We had to try and overturn that deficit. That did not happen last year. But we get another crack at them in the league phase. From there, we also get Newcastle, we get City, and we get Arsenal. So some really tough ones there. We did knock City out last year. Arsenal were a side that I think were better than, so yeah, let's go after them. Then Copenhagen and Lyon, we played Copenhagen and Lyon last year, I think. So we should be on 6 points before we play Barca. Look, Newcastle, that sort of game that I think we should win away from home. Man City, Arsenal, question marks, probably need to come back and give you those two games. And then Copenhagen and Lyon, it's another guaranteed 6 points there. So at a minimum 12 points, at a minimum top 24 will be achieved. With just 12 points. But I think there's a world where we beat Barcelona, we beat Newcastle, beat City. If we get through all those fixtures without losing a game, I'm telling you right now, Champions League is on for this year. So next part of this episode, Barcelona on the 21st, replay of last year's semi-final, and obviously we'll recap how we go against Rafa Benitez's Belgium in the group league thingamabob, which France don't really care what I do as long as I don't get relegated, which, look, we got Greece in our group. We will be fine. Welcome back, YouTube. Barcelona, away at the new camp, a place where we couldn't get past to make the final of the Champions League last year. But from what we've seen of this year's squad, I am planning to be in the big dance this season. Since we last met, we've got the league to talk about. We have lost the game this season, but we are currently top. We have had international games. I'm going to recap all those games for you very quickly right now. But I think the biggest place to start is Barcelona, who made last year's Champions League final, sit 30th in the Champions League phase, and I don't understand how. I understand the 2 games have only been played. I've won both my games, by the way. I beat Ajax 4-0 and Red Star 3-0, which I'll get on. Barca have drawn 1 to Arsenal and lost to Chelsea. Okay, so that had a fairly difficult run. They did lose Barcelona did win the Champions League last year, I think, as well. They're last year's champions, no? Yeah, they beat Chelsea in the final 2-0. So we lost to the defending champions. They currently sit 30th. This would be a great time to beat Barca because that put them on the back foot. You're still expecting to get inside the top 24, but this could be a moment where we get Barcelona. They get a couple more games which they throw away, and all of a sudden, the defending champions are out in the league phase. With that being said, let's just recap where we've last been since we've seen each other, which was the opening day of Napoli. We played Sampdoria. Lazio, Champions League, we started with Red Star, as mentioned, when we looked at the league phase draw, 1-2-0. We lost our first game in the league to Inter 1-0. A little bit FM'd. We had 15 shots, only apparently 1 on target for a world-class lineup. It was pretty infuriating to watch to lose that one there, 1-0. We won 4-0. Juve were currently top when we played them. We won 2-0 and absolutely battered them as well. Ajax, we won 4-0 at home there in the Champions League, which was great. We beat Bologna 4-0 and Empoli 2-0, which means after losing to Inter, 5 games without conceding. 7 games already without conceding this year. This back four is good. Manigan, when fit, is good. More importantly, Bruno Fernandes, Victor Roque, and Rafael Leao are very good. That's very exciting. In terms of our squad here in France, that's the team at the minute. Mbappe got injured during international duty. Nothing long-term, out for a few weeks. So I've had to play Ali Kalumo in the last 2 games with no backup striker. I've been cleaning in the background, so the game's been automatically simming. So I'm just putting someone into the team. It doesn't automatically stop that anymore. Team looks good in terms of our schedule so far. We started actually with a 0-0 draw against Belgium away from home. Were the better side, 2.6 XG. Apparently we can't find the back of the net in our first game. Look, Belgium are a decent side, so the draw away from home, first game in's okay. We beat Greece 2-0. We got a little bit of a different story here. We'll say that the 4-3-3, yet again, dominating, but no goals. So maybe the 4-1-2-1-2 could come out into fruition. We played Denmark, we won 4-0. Look, we were pretty good in this game here. Ali Calamundo, who I use as a backup player in my other save in France when I'm French manager. He's pretty good, usually, but Dembele and him got going, and then the big game here against Belgium, we won 4-0, but please do put an asterisk next to this one. Yes, we played well. Yes, we dominated. The first 3 goals I scored, all corners. Dembele with 2 corners into Dembele and Fofana again from Koeman. It took us to the 92nd minute to score from open play, which means we went 2 games without scoring from open play, basically against Belgium till the 92nd minute of that second game. So the 4-3-3, we're going to put an asterisk next to it. If it doesn't go well in a few of the other friendlies in the semi-final and the final, we find it hard to break down players, I might go into that diamond and just unleash Mbappe with a strike partner and go. Mbappe, Colomendo, go out there. Let's see what we can do. But we'll wait and see what comes about of that as well. It's not really the focus. The focus here, Champions League against Barcelona. Look, last year's defending champions were out for a measure of revenge. Our team's in a better better spot than last year as well. But yeah, Madigan in net with Kalu, Todibo, Tamori and Hernandez, Ismail Benacour, Tonali, Dani Olmo, Fernandez, Victor Roque, Rafael Leao. Important to note that David Fratezi's looked really good since coming in. He's been fantastic. The world-class midfielder. Also note John Stones has been very good since coming in as well. A very good backup player to be having in here as well. But yeah, Bruno Fernandes, as much as he hasn't had like the greatest match ratings, when we watched Giovanni Reina in the shadow striker role, never got involved. I watched Bruno play and I'm like, yeah, this guy's getting involved. Even if he's the passer to the assister, which is the assist to the assist, you don't get anything for that. He just always looks like he's involved. Victor Roque's killing it at the minute, outscoring Rafael Leao. So yeah, look, this team is up there with one of the most nuttiest sides that I've ever used in Football Manager in my time. So look, let's see what we can do away from home against Barcelona, against probably what is a very similar side that know they have to win here in order to probably get back to winning ways and get into a stage where they can start looking at top 8 again. And to be fair, if I lose the Barca, hopefully they make the top 8 so I avoid them in that next knockout stage in the second knockout round, or or let's win and hope they don't get it through. Having a look at the team that beat us last year and compare it to this team, Koundé, Aranje, Garcia and Balde is the same back four with the same keeper. Nico, Gavi, Pedri is the same midfield three. And it's the same three up front. Dembele, Ferran Torres and Robert Lewandowski. So that does mean that a few of the other players that we did play against last year aren't starting. Kessie is not starting again, which makes it interesting. Angelino started the first leg, not the second leg last year. Still a good side. I think we're very neck and neck when it comes to us and Barcelona. Look, at the end of the day, Barca have a poor year. They slip into the Europa League, in the league, which won't happen. I was going to say slip into the Europa League from the Champions League. Doesn't happen like that anymore. Maybe Barcelona just on this little dip. I'm happy to come in charge next year, boys. Just give me a yell. Anyway, Camp Nou. Let's go with AC Milan and off we go. I will say that if we don't win this Champions League this year, I am probably going to stick around with this squad because it's only going to get better. Tonali, ball in front stick. Todibo heads, hits the post and comes out. Somehow a ball hits the inside of a post and comes out. That's a bit odd. But look, typical things when you play Barcelona, isn't it? I will say, 16 minutes in, we've made a lot better start than what we did last year in terms of possession and being in the game. But it was a good dead ball from Tonali. And yeah, I'm very happy with this. Theo Hernandez steps on his man, so does Dani Olmo. Finds Rafael Leao. Aranje with a last-ditch tackle on a booking. Ismail Benacour gets a tackle in on Lewandowski. Tonali, Victor Roque looking for runners. Kalu's one of them. Chipped ball into Bruno. First time finish by Bruno. There he is, Mr. Bruno Fernandes, or Fernandes, however you want to say it. I say Fernandes. But yeah, there we go. Kalu with a ball over the top. I love him being slightly more withdrawn, where Theo's already up the field. Like, have a look at him. He's ready as a winger. Kalu will wait until the perfect moment. First time ball. I actually think Roque might have been offside, which is glad Bruno took it upon himself to go. But yet again, that attacking mid on support will get in the box when needed, but loves the hold as well. I'm in love with this Diamond and how it plays. It maybe is because Milan are that good of a team. I might play Diamond for the foreseeable future. Even though I love the 4-3-3 we used at West Ham and loved it in every other save that I've used. And we haven't lost yet with France with it. But yeah, anyhow, that's for future teams as Ferran Torres finds Lewandowski, who knew nothing about that, and he scores 1-1. Barca have done nothing, and then that. He wasn't even looking. Look, Lewandowski's probably good enough to know that, where it is. Tonali losing the ball was not very realistic, but oh well. Ferran Torres with a good run, beats 3 guys. Lewandowski is, he's turning away, expecting Ferran Torres to shoot, and it's kind of hit him and gone in. Interesting. It is what it is. It's 1-1, and Lewandowski's on a 6.5. It probably highlights that the game doesn't even recognise him taking a shot there. But anyhow, ball picked off by Todibo, Olmo, Bruno. Ball and a half from Bruno looking for Rafael Leao to get on his bite. Never got going, which is odd. Both their centre-backs are on bookings. That's interesting. Keita Baldo, Eric Garcia, Nico, Pedri, Lewandowski turns. 3 guys around him. No one wants to go and try and win the ball, apparently so. Ferran Torres now, big switch of play. It's good movement. It's Barcelona movement, for goodness sake. Tamori with a tackle, and it's going to be another penalty. And Tamori's on a booking. If this is a penalty and a red card, it's the 3rd game in a row that I've conceded a penalty to Barcelona, which puts the myth out there that whenever you play against a big team in the game, FM does everything it can to give the opposition of that bigger side that you're playing everything. Ball's falling back to him, penalties, you name it. Lewandowski scores, and from not knowing that the ball was coming to him and a penalty that was dubious, we're behind again against Barcelona. I just want clean gameplay against bigger sides. I can handle Barcelona coming out here and absolutely destroying me. Could handle it. Doesn't happen. You never see it ever in the match engine. Just fix the match engine. Anyhow, enough complaining. We're going to get aggressive. We've actually played quite well there in that first half. I know that we haven't had as many shots, but we've not let Barca really get in. And in the 1.5 moments that they've had, they've scored twice. So yeah, they actually have 2, but that is basically saying they've had a shot inside the 6-yard box and a penalty. Outside of that, they actually is what? 0.4? Time ticking away here. Nothing really to write home about. Mose Keane for Victor Roque in. Theo Hernandez looking dead, so we'll do that. And Calui out for Calabria, who we might just get in as a complete wing-back on attack. And on top of that too, Rafael Leao was going to stay out there. For Tezzy in, Ismail Benacour, and I'm actually going to get him in here as a... Swap these two around. I'm going to get him on a supporting defensive midfielder. There's Tonali, and get Fatezi into the box-to-box and just get Tonali to push up the field a little bit higher from a deeper line. I'm going to go to that. Same system is fine. Because I think we'll find a moment. 8 shots free now. Like, look at this. We've been in the game very, 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 very well. Todibo, back to Tomori. Tonali. Bruno. Tomori. Michaelenko with fresh legs. Tomori again. Dani Olmo dropping in. Bruno Fernandes. Rafael Leao deserves a goal. To stay it in the post, get themselves in the way. There's the difference, I guess. Michaelenko wins that bat, but it falls back to him. There we go. 82nd minute. I am going to make my last changes here. Tisney in for Bruno. And I'm actually going to get Bruno back on the park. Tisney into there, I reckon, actually. But we're going to put him in a hole and Bruno back on line, I think. And Tisney is a shadow striker just to throw an extra man forward. I think that's what we're going to do. Christensen, Aranjo, Eric Garcia. Ball out to Ferran Torres. We can see now it'll be annoying because we don't deserve to. Win the ball back. Rafael Leao should be getting higher and wider. Decided against it. Dani Olmo now driving from deep. Ball to Bruno. Flicks on. Mose Keane was there. Just didn't get on it. Ter Stegen will clear. Poor clearance. Aranjo wins and it falls to Baku. Barcelona lucky. Lewandowski now. Ferran Torres. Baku. Lewandowski. Tomori wins, and that should be Rafael Leao's. This is where we need the options. Bruno making a good run. There he is now. He peeled into the space. Mose Keane needs to get on his bike here to make that option. There he goes. Onside? I'm not sure, to be fair. I think he's off. My gut feeling's off. No, it's on. Come on. Do I want to proceed with the changes? That's a good question now. Bruno just did bits. No, I don't want to proceed with the change. Leave it. I'm going to bring on John Stones for Todibo. He's had a stinker. Michaelenko, great ball. Bruno plays it. Keane timed his run to perfection. Leao left it, and I think Ter Stegen expected just to pick up the ball. It was a bit weird because the game highlighted Rafael Leao, and I think Ter Stegen thinks Leao got the ball and then missed it. But yeah, onside, just unreal. And Mose Keane, he's been a great signing. I am going to make that change now, though. And his name is going to be John Stones for Todibo, who, yeah, he's had a stinker as Todibo, but it does happen from time to time. 2-2, late doors. We deserve it, to be fair. We've played really well. And look, 2-2 draw, away from home, at the new camp, a place we lost last year. And it just highlights that, yet again, we are a better team than what we were last year as well. You know, last year we weren't able to do it on the day. We couldn't get near Barcelona enough. Today, a very even game. You say the XG is different, Damien. They've scored inside the 6-yard box, and Lewandowski didn't even take the shot. It hit him. And a penalty that was, yet again, dubious for the third penalty in a row that I've given away against Barcelona. I'm telling you right now, that wouldn't happen in real life. With that being said, we had more possession, same pass completion. Possession is basically the same as well, let's be honest. So, with that being said, I think if we play that game 9 times out of 10, that penalty doesn't happen. We can consider ourselves unlucky that we didn't win. Because if their XG has been inflated by a goal from inside the 6-yard box, which may actually not have been calculated as XG, I'm not sure if it was. It was, look at this. Bang and then bang. Okay, so yeah. XG before the goal, XG after the goal, 1.1. So yeah, it was counted as XG. If you're looking at that, that was a 0.9 XG, and the penalty is always 0.8. You know, you're looking at that. What, we gave up 0.6 XG to Barcelona away at the new camp. You take out the 2 outliers, which is the 2 goals, but, you know, it's a penalty and yet again a shot he hasn't taken. So, look, I'm reading the positive out of we played really well, we could have played even better, and we managed to get a draw against Barca, who were last year's defending champions. Imagine what we're going to do to the 90% of the population in the Champions League when push comes to shove. And God forbid that in a big game we actually decide to play well and get a slice of luck. We might just win this Champions League this year. With that being said, I'm very happy with that. In terms of next episode here, it's going to be an interesting one. Juve just lost it. Ajax, there you go. I think next episode, we've got some difficult games. Like, we got Man City. We played them last year in the quarterfinal. Thing is, if I beat Newcastle, that City game, that Arsenal game, and that, you know, is a little bit redundant. I don't know what we do. I think I'm going to play it by ear. If we beat Newcastle and we beat them properly, City, I think, at home are favourites for them. Depends on how City are going. They currently sit 10th. Oh, my word. City at 10th? Please get the sack to Diego Simeone. I'll be there. Not right now. To be fair, okay, question would be, do you chat before we end, or chat? I'm sorry you said streaming. Don't stream at the moment, Football Manager. YouTube. If the City job became available and they snuck into the knockout stage of the Champions League, would you just take it because their squad's so good? You expect, even though if they're 9th or 8th, to go on a run to nearly win the league, and you'd be in the FA Cup and you'd probably arguably win that, and you'd go close to winning the Champions League? Or would you just go, no, you have the probably arguably one of the best sides in the Champions League, so why would you look to leave until that competition's over? Big question. Maybe Simeone gets the sack and we know that he's not in the Champions League, but that might actually be a thing to go, yeah, okay. Or you go for the job and say, can I actually join at the end of next season, at the end of the season, and hopefully get a yes. With that being said, though, what a competition, what a moment it is to be in the Champions League. We have a very good team. Haven't kept the clean sheet 7 of our last 8 games there until that game, so harsh. But look, Newcastle definitely not going to play. I might be back for Man City depending on where they sit and where we sit, and then recap the rest as well. Or I might be back for the Inter in the Super Cup final because it's a cup final. Allows me to recap these few bigger games against the Premier League clubs, and then probably tell you that we don't need to play Copenhagen or Lyon because we'll be through the phase. With that being said, I'll see you guys till next time. Thank you and goodbye.